What's good, y'all? My name is Jason, and in this video I'm going to talk about 5 different reasons why you should invest in the stock market. So this video will be helpful for those who are complete beginners and also for those who have a little bit of experience. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, welcome to Ambition and Ownership. The purpose of this channel is to bring awareness to the stock market and also discuss ownership and why it's essential that we basically, place a higher priority on empowering ourselves so that we can create our own opportunities. If you're new here, please like the video and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all my videos and become a part of the community. Also remember, there are 3 links below that you can use to sign up with your own brokerage account today. And if you use those links below, you'll get some free stocks. All right, y'all, so one of the first reasons why you should invest in the stock market is because you want your money to work hard for you. Now, I think traditionally we were taught that you have to work hard for your money. And I understand this concept because I work hard for my money almost every day. But remember, you can run your own business, you can have a job, and both of those things can generate income. But I think it's important to stay conscious about the fact that you're still using your time and your physical energy in order to generate that income. That's why I continue to invest in my business so that I can buy equipment that will allow me to reduce the amount of time and energy that I have to put into the business. That's why it's one of my goals to basically eventually have an automatic printing machine and also a team of people that can create a system that allows my business to run with me excluded from the system, other than just me maintaining the system. So the second reason why you should invest in the stock market is because it'll help you shift from a consumer to an ownership mindset. Don't get me wrong, we all consume, it's human nature, but at the same time, as we continue to buy these products from these companies, as we continue to pay for these services every single month, we need to think, how do we actually own the companies that produce these products and services? A lot of us are in situations in life that we don't want to be in because we're still operating off of older systems that need to be retired. But we don't retire them because we're probably just used to them. It's kind of like driving around in a car that's making funny noises. At first, these noises might make you worried, but if the problem isn't fixed, eventually you'll get in the car, turn it on, expecting to hear these funny noises. So let's rewire the way we think. Remember, when you own stock, you're literally part owner of that company. It's funny because the first stock I ever bought was Verizon. And before I got into the stock market, I would look at my phone bill and I would be thinking, okay, that's a lot. But nowadays, when I look at my phone bill, I don't feel as bad. And it's probably because when I pay for that service that I need, that money is going towards a company that I'm a part owner of. If you look at every single thing around you is produced by a company that you could possibly be a part owner of. It's funny because my wife has been talking about Disney Plus because she wants to see the movie Encanto. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I'm not paying for that service unless we own shares of the company. So if you want to get it, that's fine, but let's own shares of the company first. So that when we're watching the movie, I can explain to my kids, like, hey, we own part of this company, right? And they'll be like, what do you mean, Daddy? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked. And these are the kind of conversations that we can have that can start to shift the next generation. Back in the day, cable was very popular, and nowadays people have like Netflix, Disney Plus, and other streaming platforms. And you can have a conversation with somebody, and if they say, I don't have Netflix or Disney or whatever, you'll be like, what? Really? And I think that that's the same type of reaction we should have for people who don't have brokerage accounts. There are wealthy families, wealthy individuals that have these accounts. Let's start doing the things that wealthy people do. Let's make it the norm that every family should have at least one account. Let's make this part of our culture. The third reason why you should be invested in the stock market is because it's one of the easiest investment opportunities to get into. In other words, it has the lowest barrier of entry. Dr. Boyce Watkins, which is a finance professor that I listen to, explains that the 3 pillars of wealth are real estate ownership, stock ownership, and business ownership and entrepreneurship. Now, I believe in all of these 3 pillars of wealth, but the thing about real estate is that sometimes it could take a significant down payment in order to get started. Same thing with business ownership. Sometimes it could take hundreds or thousands of dollars to get started. And that's okay, but at the same time, if you want to get into the stock market, all you have to do is open up an account, which you can do by clicking the links down in the description below, and you can fund your account and start buying stocks for as little as $10. That way you can get used to how the stock market works without using a bunch of your money. Now, one other thing about the stock market is that it's very liquid. Liquidity is basically the ability, how easy it is for an asset to convert into cash. So same thing with the house. If you're trying to sell a house, that can take months. If you're trying to sell a business, that can take months as well. When you own stock, you can buy and sell stock that same day, which makes it a very liquid market. So the fourth reason why you should invest in the stock market is because you can start setting up your retirement right now. I think a lot of us make the mistake of waiting until we're older to start thinking about our retirement, and that's definitely not the time you should start thinking about it. We have to understand that the more money that we put into our brokerage accounts gives us the chance to buy more stocks, especially if we start this at a younger age. The stocks that we buy, as they accumulate in value over time, your account is growing larger and larger, so much to the point that you can even withdraw a certain percentage from that account every single year, and the account still grows. You don't want to position yourself and feel like, I'm older, I deserve to rest, I've put in the work, but I still have to go to work in order to pay my bills and my expenses. The fifth reason why you should invest in the stock market is because it will help you build wealth. Now, if you look at the data over the past 50 years, it'll show that the stock market has returned on average about 10% per year. So it's not a consistent 10% every single year. Some years the stock market overperforms and some years it underperforms, but over time it smooths out to about 10% per year. So when you hear the term stock market, in general, what people are referring to is the S&P 500. Now you might hear the word S&P 500 like on the news or in social media, and all the S&P 500 are the top 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States. The S&P 500 is basically an index. An index is just a measure of something. For instance, you can look at a teacher and how effective a teacher is based on the test results of the teacher's students. Or you could look at basically how well the NBA performs by taking the top players in the NBA, creating an all-star team, and compare that to how other international teams do. Same thing with the S&P 500. You can take the top 500 companies in the country and it'll give you a general idea of how well the stock market is performing. So if we know the stock market or the S&P 500 returns on average about 10% per year, and you open up a brokerage account, you fund your account with some cash, and then you take that cash to buy some stocks, you can see that the stock that you buy, when you get a return from that investment, that return is used to buy even more stocks as you continue to fund your brokerage account, whether that's through your business that you run or the job that you have. You can see how over time this effect kind of compounds. And this is why I'm showing you guys, my journey with me trying to save up $1,000 and my M1 Finance account, and just show you guys basically the process. Alright, you guys, so we are in my M1 Finance account. In the first video I said that I would fund this account with $100, and here it is. It's a cash balance of $100. This amount came from my bank account, so in order to do this, when you open up your brokerage account, you'll have to eventually connect your brokerage account to your bank account so that you can fund it with some cash. This cash is not invested just yet. It's just cash, so if I wanted to send it back to my bank account, I can do that, no problem. It'll just take probably a couple days. And yeah, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is so that you can basically see the process. It's a lot easier than what some people perceive it to be. So the goal, again, is to get this account to $1,000, and yeah, take you guys along for the journey. All right, y'all, so that wraps it up. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. If you find value in this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also feel free to ask any questions by commenting. If you want to join me on my journey, by opening up your own brokerage account. You can open up your own M1 Finance account or a Robinhood account or a Webull account using the links in the description below. If you use those links, you can get some free stocks. So yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.